In our contemporary world, where social media dictates our self-worth and societal expectations shape our decisions, have you ever stopped to wonder who you truly are beneath all these external influences? This isn't just a philosophical question. It's a fundamental human dilemma that has persisted across centuries. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, despite ruling one of history's greatest empires, grappled with these same questions in his personal writings known as Meditations. What makes his insights so extraordinary is that they weren't written for publication or fame, but as a private journal where he reminded himself how to live with integrity in a world full of distractions and false values. Today, we'll explore 5 of his most powerful principles, expanding each one with comprehensive explanations, practical applications, and thought-provoking questions to help you not just understand these ideas intellectually, but integrate them into your daily life. 1. The compass of authenticity, following your genuine interests. Marcus Aurelius observed that things gravitate toward what they were intended for, a profound statement that suggests everything in nature, including humans, has an inherent direction or purpose. But how do we discover this purpose in our own lives? The answer lies in paying close attention to those activities that naturally captivate your attention without any external reward or pressure. These aren't just passing hobbies or casual interests, but pursuits that seem to resonate with your very being. The things you do, even if no one was watching. The topics you can't help but research. The skills you're drawn to master. Consider this deeply. When you were a child, before society told you what was practical or valuable, what did you love to do? Maybe it was building forts, telling stories, taking things apart to see how they worked, or observing nature. These early inclinations often contain clues to your authentic self. The modern world, with its endless demands and distractions, tries to pull us away from these core interests, telling us to focus instead on what's profitable or popular. But Marcus would argue that by neglecting these inner callings, we're abandoning our true path. Practical exercise. Keep an interest journal for 1 week, noting every activity that makes you lose track of time. Review your notes to identify patterns or themes. Ask yourself, if I could spend 1 year doing anything without concern for money or others' opinions, what would I choose? 2. The depth of true fulfillment. Rejecting shallow pleasures. When Marcus Aurelius asked, "Why were you born? For pleasure?" See if that answer will stand up to questioning. He wasn't dismissing enjoyment entirely, but challenging us to examine the quality and source of our pleasures. In our dopamine-driven culture, we're constantly tempted by quick fixes, endless scrolling, binge-watching, emotional eating, or other behaviors that provide temporary relief but ultimately leave us feeling empty. These shallow pleasures act like psychological fast food, immediately satisfying but nutritionally void for our souls. By contrast, deep pleasures, those activities that challenge us, help us grow, connect us to others, or create lasting value, might require more initial effort but provide enduring satisfaction. Think about the difference between watching television, passive consumption, versus learning to play an instrument, active creation, or between gossiping about co-workers versus having a meaningful conversation about life's big questions. The former gives us a quick hit. The latter nourishes our deeper selves. Self-reflection. Questions. What's one activity in your life that leaves you feeling truly fulfilled afterward? What's one guilty pleasure you regularly indulge in that ultimately makes you feel worse? How might you replace shallow pleasures with more meaningful alternatives. 3. Memento Mori. Using mortality as a guide to authentic living. Marcus's stark reminder. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Might initially seem morbid, but when properly understood, it becomes one of the most liberating philosophies for authentic living. The awareness of our mortality isn't meant to frighten us into inaction, but to clarify what truly matters. When we confront the reality that our time is limited, all the trivial concerns that normally occupy our minds, what others think of us, minor setbacks, superficial desires, suddenly lose their power. This principle invites us to conduct a profound thought experiment. Imagine it's your last year of life. What would you stop doing immediately? What would you prioritize? Who would you spend time with? The answers to these questions reveal your authentic values, unobscured by societal expectations or habitual patterns. The key is to then align your current life with these revelations, rather than waiting until it's too late. Practical application. Write your own eulogy. How would you want to be remembered? Create a stop-doing list of activities that don't align with your true values. Each morning, ask, if this were my last day, how would I want to spend it? The courage of independent thought. Breaking free from mental conformity. Marcus warned against living like sleepers or children copying their parents, highlighting how most people go through life uncritically adopting beliefs and behaviors from their environment. In our information-saturated age, this tendency has only intensified. We absorb opinions from social media, news outlets, influencers, and our social circles without proper examination. True authenticity requires the courage to question everything, especially the beliefs we've held longest, as these are often the ones we've examined least. Developing independent thinking doesn't mean rejecting all external ideas, but rather subjecting them to rigorous personal scrutiny. When encountering any belief, whether political, philosophical, or personal, ask, what evidence supports this? Does my lived experience confirm it? Would I hold this view if I'd been raised in a different environment? This process creates beliefs that are truly yours, rather than hand-me-downs from others. Critical thinking exercise. Identify 3 beliefs you hold strongly. For each one, write down how you first acquired this belief, any experiences that have confirmed or challenged it, why you continue to hold it today. Notice which beliefs withstand scrutiny and which might need re-evaluation. The integrity of self-respect. Why external validation fails us. Marcus's observation that we all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own, exposes one of the great paradoxes of human psychology. We constantly shape our behavior to gain approval, even from people we don't particularly respect, while neglecting our own inner compass. This creates a divided self. The persona we show the world becomes increasingly disconnected from our true thoughts and feelings. The path back to authenticity requires recognizing that external validation is a poor substitute for self-respect. Every time we suppress our true opinions to fit in, or hide our quirks to appear normal, we erode our sense of self. The alternative isn't being needlessly confrontational, but rather developing the quiet confidence to be who we are without apology. This means speaking your truth even when it's unpopular, pursuing your unique path despite others' skepticism, and refusing to compromise your values for temporary social rewards. Self-assessment. Questions. In what areas of life do you most often seek others' approval? What parts of yourself do you typically hide from others, and why? How might your life change if you valued your own opinion as much as you value others? Conclusion: the journey back to yourself. These 5 principles form a comprehensive roadmap for authentic living in an inauthentic world. They're not quick fixes, but lifelong practices that require constant attention and recommitment. As you work with them, remember that authenticity isn't a destination, but a manner of traveling. It's found in the daily choices to honor your true interests, pursue meaningful challenges, live with mortality in mind, think independently, and respect yourself above outside opinions. Call to action: join our community of authentic seekers. If this exploration of Stoic wisdom resonated with you, I invite you to join our growing community. By subscribing to this channel, you'll receive weekly deep dives into timeless philosophical principles that can transform how you live. Each video is carefully crafted to provide not just knowledge, but practical tools for personal growth. Hit the notification bell so you never miss new content. And consider sharing this video with someone in your life who might benefit from these ideas. In the comments below, I'd love to hear which of these 5 principles challenges you most. What's one small step you'll take today toward more authentic living? What topics would you like us to explore in future videos? Remember, the journey to authenticity begins with a single honest moment. Let this be yours.